Wagging tails, zoomies, and sloppy kisses. And somehow, every day still feels like a first date with love. Because the second you open your heart, something unconditional gets unleashed. Friends for Animals, all for love. Help us keep the love going. Visit MetroDetroitAnimals.org.
Don't miss WJR's live coverage of the charity event that's raised over $125 million since it began in 1976. The Detroit Auto Show Charity Preview Show is presented by the Ford Motor Company with your hosts Jamie Edmonds and Ryan Ermani. The Detroit Auto Show Charity Preview Show presented by the Ford Motor Company. Friday, January 16th. Live coverage begins at 6 p.m. on 760 WJR. Wake up tomorrow with JR Morning with Chris Renwick, Lloyd Jackson, and Jamie Edmonds on 760 WJR. Right now, it's JR Afternoon with Ryan Ermani.
Welcome back, 760 WJR. That was among one of the more fascinating interviews I think we've ever done. I mean, that was incredible information that Pamela Good gave us regarding why literacy is dropping in the state of Michigan, what's being done, where we went south, and how we can fix it. More important than anything, what Pamela Good from Beyond Basics was describing was ways to help it, ways to improve it. So many times, so many people will tell you what's wrong, but they don't have the solution to improve it. Not only do we have the solution, we're just not doing it. We've done it before, but we're not doing it now. Why won't we get back to it? Why did the universities do this? It's incredible to think about. Just destruction. I just read somewhere that, Ford had a $160,000 mechanic job open that they cannot fill because, and it just goes back to education, man. It really does. It is at the pillar of everything you want to be as a society, education, and not working. Ron in Lapeer, you're on 760 WJR. How you doing, Ron? Thanks so much for the call.
Ryan. All right. How are you doing, Ryan?
Good, buddy.
Good. Yes. This is a topic that I've been involved with for 30, 40 years. I was elected to our local school board in the late 80s and tried to get them to institute a phonics curriculum. But because I was just a school board member and not an education expert, I was ignored.
Yeah. Such a shame.
And then a few years later, my wife was a certified teacher, an English teacher, went back and got her master's in reading and literacy. And guess what they taught her how to do? To teach phonics, because that's what works.
Ron, at a local, let me ask you a question. At a local level, you see the local politics that come in play. What did you experience back when you were a school board member?
Well, what I found is that the superintendent contacted some local universities about, which was the best way to go about teaching reading, and the university experts on how to teach teachers said that the whole language method was better than phonics.
It's terrible.
When I challenged that, I said, but our results don't show that. When kids have struggle reading, we pull them out, have someone help them by using phonics, and all of a sudden they catch up.
It's incredible. And you know what? I'll tell you, Ron, results are a funny thing, right? Because everybody thinks that they've got the right stuff. Everybody thinks they have the right plan. And when the results show something totally opposite, we not only do we not try to fix it, but we'll double down on what we're doing wrong, and we'll continue to do it that way because we don't want to admit that we were right. And also, the more money you throw at a problem does not mean it's going to improve. So there's so many different levels to this that are just kind of disgusting. Ron, thanks so much for the time. I really appreciate your perspective on that.
Have a blessed day.
You too, sir. Rob in Sterling Heights, you're on 760 WJR. What's up, Rob?
Hey, Ryan, how you doing?
Fantastic.
hey, our governor's very proud that she spends more money than any other governor, state of Michigan, on education. She's 100% correct. But that's not translating into results. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but according to what I heard, they said Mississippi spends about a third of what some other states spend, and they've gotten to the level of number 9. Now, this goes to prove, like you just said, money doesn't solve the problem. So either use it more wisely or give it back to the taxpayer. Okay, and the only way they're going to get them to change is school choice. When parents start taking the kids out of schools and putting them somewhere else that work, that's the only way you're going to get change.
Yeah, it's a good point, Rob. I'll tell you, money is not a determining factor in how well a child does. It's just, and we've proven that here in this state, per pupil, the amount of money that kids get to go to school in this state is among the leaders in the country. The money is there. What is not is the proper curriculum. And the reason I know the proper curriculum is not being taught is because the results are not there. You can look at any score, you can look at any metric that kids are judged at any grade level, 3rd grade, 4th grade, 8th grade, 12th grade, and the kids are not ready to move on. And that's not my opinion. Those are based on real hardcore data, real hardcore facts that are irrefutable. And for lawmakers and really universities too, and this is everybody's getting paid. So, everybody's making the money and everybody's doing this and everybody's making their money, but our kids are getting dumber. And I'm not saying that for any other reason other than it's true. And it's just a sad thing. And you are fighting, Rob, thanks so much for the call. You're fighting a couple of different things here because the curriculum is not working. And then you do have to fight the technology side of this. And there really is a technology side of this. I mean, more and more data coming out that's saying that Chromebooks instituted in the classroom are among the worst things that could happen to our students. And just for a number of different reasons. I mean, think about writing a note down. When you hand write a note, you're able to retain that material way more than if you type it that gets, lost on a page. So just that basic critical thinking function that you are losing. Who knows? Sometimes you throw your hand up in defeat and say, I surrender. But this is one of those topics that I do not think we should surrender at all. The education of our kids is of the utmost importance. And again, I will tell you, the leader that takes this issue on, and I know Governor Whitmer said she was going to make this a focus in her final year in office, but I really, truly believe the person who can grab a hold of this is going to get a lot of votes and make a lot of people happy. That's for sure. Coming right back, Steve Courtney will join us, 760 WJR.
Your child's education is the foundation for tomorrow's leaders. Listen every Sunday at 3 p.m. for School Talks, hosted by Dr. Robert Livernoy. A conversation on all things education, from parents and students to educators and policymakers. School Talks is dedicated to in-depth discussions and analysis with experts on a wide range of topics in education. Sponsored by Collins and Blaha, attorneys at law, specializing in the representation of school districts. Collins and Blaha, your education experts. collinsandblaha.com.
The new year brings new health goals and wealth goals. Protecting your identity is an important step. Your info is in endless places that could expose you to identity theft, leading to lost funds. LifeLock monitors millions of data points per second. If your identity is stolen, our restoration specialists will fix it, guaranteed, or your money back. Resolve to make identity health and wealth part of your New Year's goals with LifeLock. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code NEWS. Visit LifeLock.com. Terms apply.
It all comes down to this, folks.
Yep, the entire season is on the line.
But my throat has officially thrown in the towel.
Sounds like you need Vicks VapoCool drops. They're max strength and vaporize sore throat pain.
Whoa! These VapoCool drops hit fast.
Speaking of fast, did you just see that play?
Yeah, he vaporized that ball.
That pun should have come with a penalty.
Vaporize sore throat pain with Vicks VapoCool drops. Use as directed. VapoCool.
Meadowbrook Theater invites you to All Shook Up, inspired and featuring the songs of Elvis Presley. It's 1955, and into a square little town in a square little state rides a guitar-playing young man who changes everything in this hip-swiveling fantasy that'll have you jumping out of your blue suede shoes. For tickets, call 248-377-3300. That's 248-377-3300, or visit Ticketmaster.com. See All Shook Up at Meadowbrook Theater in collaboration with Oakland University School of Music, Theater, and Dance.
WJR Traffic and Weather First.
This report is sponsored by Mothers Against Drunk Driving.
For victims of drunk and drug driving, our grief is unique, but you are not alone. You always have a place at MAD. Call our 24-hour victim helpline at 877-MAD-HELP or visit mad.org.
We have an accident blocking your right shoulder on I-75 northbound between 9 Mile and I-696. Another wreck on I-94 eastbound after Chalmers. That's causing stop and go from Gratiot. Your two left lanes are blocked on I-96 eastbound and westbound at Milford Road due to a vehicle fire and the remnants of a crash. Gratiot northbound at Huron Boulevard. Standstill because of an accident there. Debris blocking your right lane on I-75 southbound after Springwell Street. And M59 eastbound at Rochester Road. That accident has cleared. Still seeing a little bit of backups from Crooks Road there. Now WJR Weather First from the Weather Channel. Here's your forecast.
Dry weather expected here today through half of tomorrow. Next change coming in terms of impactful weather, maybe later Wednesday. Close to 38, a southwest breeze, some sun. Trying to get through the overcast this afternoon. Tonight, 30 degrees. Tomorrow, 43, mainly cloudy with a little rain in the afternoon. Wednesday, any rain. Could be a combination of rain and snow at one point in the afternoon, then eventually all snow in some spots into Wednesday night. From the Weather Channel, I'm meteorologist Ray Stagicon, 760 WJR, where Michigan comes to talk.
Call us or text us. The number's the same. 1-800-859-0957. 1-800-859-0WJR. Powered by Michigan Auto Law. Auto Accident Attorneys. Visit autolaw.com. That's autolaw.com.
760 WJR. I got a lot going on. I've got the computer monitors all over the place in here. You should see this place. Total chaos. 760 WJR. Hey, Steve Courtney. Did you enjoy those NFL playoffs yesterday, my friend? Playoffs?
Playoffs. Yeah, I did. As a matter of fact, as we focus on this, that, and the other thing. And like you say, Ryan, there is a blank ton going on. Wild card weekend in the National Football League will end tonight. The Texans will be in Pittsburgh to face Aaron Rodgers and the Steelers. 8:15 is the kick. We've got Houston. We've got Houston, the road favorite, by 3. But what I want to talk about, because it's so very important, we'll get back to the NFL because I want your thoughts on a couple of things, Ryan, in just a bit. But for my money, nothing quite beats a original 6 matchup like we had Saturday night in Montreal. Your Detroit Red Wings taking care of business, I'll say, blanking Les Habitants de Montreal 4-0. With that win, by the way, the Red Wings take over first place in the Atlantic Division. The Winged Wheelers now have won 3 in a row. Lucas Raymond, Dylan Larkin, Alex DeBrincat, Andrew Kopp lit the lamp. I'm very impressed now with John Gibson between the pipes. Stopped 27 shots, gets his 3rd shutout of the season, the first of his illustrious career against the Canadians. How about Mr. Gibson? He has won 12 of his last 14 starts. But wait, the plot thickens for the Winged Wheelers. They're back in action tonight, 7 o'clock, LCA. Ryan, who's in town?
The Carolina Hurricanes.
Yes, sir. You know, Ryan, I think you could easily make the argument that this is probably the most significant January hockey game for the Red Wings in quite some time. Because you see, the Carolina Hurricanes come in having won 4 in a row. They are on top of the Eastern Conference with their 59 points. Who's right behind them? That would be the Red Wings with 58. So simple arithmetic, if there is such a thing, dictates that should the Red Wings get a win tonight, they will be on top of the Eastern Conference. How about that?
How many people do you think, when they bought a ticket for the Sergei Fedorov jersey retirement tonight, Steve, thought that the top two teams in the Eastern Conference would be playing on a random Monday night in January?
No, you're absolutely right. As a matter of fact, to take it a step further there, Ryan, pretty big next 36 hours, if you will, because not to put the cart before the horse, Red Wings in action against Carolina tonight. Tomorrow night, they're going to be in Boston to face a formidable Bruins club. They're going to pock the cat. That'll be a 7:30 start, but very exciting for Todd McClellan and the Red Wings.
And Red Wings fans, too, by the way.
Course.
I mean, the buzz in that building, this is probably going to be as close to a playoff atmosphere as we have had at Little Caesars Arena in the history of Little Caesars Arena, when you think about it, with all of those Hall of Famers in the building tonight, all of those former greats, the roar of the crowd. If you could ever pick a game to go to, my goodness, this will remind you real quick who the Detroit Red Wings are, what this franchise means to the people here in Detroit.
All right. Meanwhile, the Pistons, coming off that Saturday night loss at home, no less, to the LA Clippers, they will host the Phoenix Suns. That will not happen until Thursday night. The Pistons now with a 3.5 game cushion over the New York Knickerbockers in the Eastern Conference. 1 week from tonight there, Mr. Ryan, it'll be the College Football Playoff National Championship. Hard Rock Stadium in Miami will be the scene. Number 10 Miami, top-seeded Indiana getting together. How about those Hoosiers? They are 8.5-point favorites after, well, let's call it what it was, dismantling the Oregon Ducks. And, who's going to bet against them? Who?
I don't know, man. And look, I posted over the weekend that I think this is the greatest story in college football history in terms of just a team and what they've done. And a lot of people thought, well, their average age is 22, 23 years old. They're taking advantage of the rules. I mean, I'm sorry.
Of course they are.
I'm sorry. How many years did the SEC bend the rules or take advantage of the rules to get an upper hand on their competition? And I don't think Indiana's even bending any rules. They're just, look, a 22-year-old kid is going to be better than an 18-year-old kid every single day. I mean, it just are. And if you put a bunch of seniors and fifth-year seniors on a roster, that's why if you look at the Final Four in college football, Steve, all four of them had transfer quarterbacks. All four of them were transfer quarterbacks. You really got to build a team.
Well, it is the nature of the beast. And, for those saying that, the Hoosiers, Kurt Signetti and company are taking advantage of the rules. Well, just be thankful there are some rules to take advantage of, because there, in many instances, with a lot of the bizarre things going on in college athletics right now, there are absolutely zero parameters. It's a free for all.
No doubt.
It's sad.
No doubt about it.
Meanwhile, back to the National Football League we go. Saturday action. Happy to see Matthew Stafford and the Rams get past the Panthers 34-31. Apparently, number 9 injured his finger on the throwing hand, but apparently it is not serious. Let's talk quickly about what's going on with those Bears. It was 21-6 going into the fourth quarter. The Packers probably had a false sense of well-being. And you know what, Ryan? I don't know what Caleb Williams does for the rest of his career. Myself, I think he still has a ways to go, but he will always have that wild card win at home. Pretty impressive, I got to say.
And what was it, 4th and 8 or some Hail Mary throw? And I don't know if you saw the breakdown of it, but the way in which he contorted his body to make the throw on 4th down was the exact Michael Jordan logo. Did you see? You gotta see the Caleb Williams. Google Caleb Williams Jordan logo, and when you put it side by side, it is remarkable. It is stunning.
Yeah, it was an impressive performance. There's no doubt about that. Meanwhile, the 49ers get past Nick Sirianni and the Eagles 23-19. Bad news for the 49ers going forward. George Kittle, their fine tight end, indeed tore his Achilles, which is it just me, or does there seem to be more of that going on in sport around the block than I ever remember?
No doubt about it. I mean, it's happening all over the place. The Achilles, the ACL, it's crazy.
And watch out for the Patriots. Always been a big Mike Vrabel guy. The job he has done with that New England club, they get past the Chargers 16-3.
I've never seen anything like it. That defensive performance last night, I've never seen anything like it.
Now, you think Aaron Rodgers has a chance tonight or what?
I do. I'm almost rooting. I think it's a better story with Aaron Rodgers and the Steelers in than the Houston Texans. I mean, Houston. So I never thought I'd say this, but I'm kind of rooting for the Steelers tonight. I don't know why. It's a better story. I think that's why I'm rooting for the story.
I'm torn because I like Mike Tomlin. I think he's a character dude. Never been a big Aaron Rodgers guy, so whatever.
Whatever. Hey, don't go anywhere. The Mitch Albom Show is next here on 760 WJR.